should do it outside. The sun is shining now for the last time, probably. Yeah. Look, really, I was surprised by myself.
So we all good? Vinny, kick us off.
Jurgen, first of all, before we talk about football, a very big night for a very big Liverpool fan. Johnson-Thompson becoming world champion in the decathlon. Just wanted to get your reaction to it.
I'm a big supporter of these kind of sports anyway, and just congratulations, brilliant. I knew about her relationship to Liverpool obviously before, but I still didn't watch it last night. But I saw it this morning, the first thing in the newspaper. So it's really great, well done. And German headlines are not too bad as well, because the guy who won the competition is from Mainz, 21-year-old. So yeah, a big day for these two wonderful athletes. Really great job. I only heard not so much positive things about the World Cup there. It was too hot, blah, 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 all that stuff. And now finally there are the positive headlines. Really good. Well deserved. Congratulations.
On to football. It's obviously 4 years since Brendan Rodgers left Liverpool. On this day, you're both nominated for Manager of the Month. He's still your landlord as well. So what kind of welcome can he expect at Anfield on his first return to Anfield from yourself and as well from the fans?
Oh, I hope from the fans it will be okay. I don't know exactly. To be honest, never thought about that. From my side, it's fine. So all the issues are sorted, which we had a couple of years ago when we started living in the house. It's no, it's brilliant. We love living there, and it's all good. So we pay awful rent for him. So I'm not sure he has to work, but he's obviously still doing it. Oh. Yeah, welcome. And is doing really well. To be honest, I'm not surprised about that. I knew it when I came here that he was not the reason for that the things didn't work out. And since then, he did an incredible job at Celtic, obviously, and now at Leicester, rebuilding. I'm not sure. A lot of the players who were in before him still there. But good signings as well, really good signings, and a brilliant team. It's what they do is really good. I don't have to say that. I think everybody knows it in a moment when you watch the Leicester games. It's just exciting. It's just fresh. They are good, just good. Defend well, play football, and especially counter-attacks are pretty threatful. So yeah, good. Congratulations to that, but the reception I think will be good from my side. I said from the supporters I think as well. But still, is that not a friendly game? And that's what we want to make sure. Of course, we are there to perform as well, and yeah, hopefully we can do that.
Just looking at the threat that they pose, obviously Leicester were the last team to really break into the top four when they won the title under Claudio Ranieri. Do you think? Not necessarily go on and win the title, but do you think that this is a Leicester side that can really challenge and break into the top four again under Brendan?
It looks like 100%. It looks like they are. There's no difference to other top six teams. Part of maybe the name, but that is for sure the second best year. I think they will play or will have played in the last couple of years, because it's just you can see that it's built from the back. The goalie is still there, no doubt about him. So then the defense really looks solid. Yeah, on each position, midfield, creative, hardworking, offensively, very creative and very straightforward as well. So that's how you build a team, and that's obviously has options. He can make changes. Madison was not fit for the last game, so Pratt played. From Pratt, I know him for a long time when he played for I think Anderlecht. A really good player as well. So and then Didi, it's really built like you want to build a team. So from the back, experience, young Evans and the young Turkish guy. I know his name, but he cannot spell it. So that's all. That's just good. What can I say? And of course, it's not forbidden to show up in the top four. Obviously, there's no reservations made, and everybody who is ready for that will fight for it, I'm sure, and they will fight for it until the end.
Simon, can I just check injury-wise? Joel is obviously and Alisson, you said maybe not. So where are we both?
With Alisson, it's still maybe not. Yes. So yesterday he trained with the team.
that the first time?
Yeah, but if you know goalie sessions, they are very often pretty more intense than the proper football sessions. But looked really good, so we will see. I have to talk to different people before I make a decision about that. And then Joel looks good, but it's not ready for tomorrow. So and Chuck not, Kleiny not. So that's it pretty much. I think after international break, they're all back on track. But until then, we have only one game, so that game we have to play without them.
When we spoke to Virgil,
Apart from Kleiny, sorry, Kleiny will not be ready. Yeah.
sorry. When we spoke to Virgil after the match, he talked about needing to sort of get used to playing alongside Joe again. Now it doesn't just happen straight away, and maybe there were moments that they all felt, I think, in that match they could have done better. So does Joe continue in that role again, and is it just a case of picking up from where they were, I suppose, last season and reminding themselves what a partnership they can be?
It would be really not fair to make now Joe in any kind responsible for the goals we conceded in the game, because that was not the case. That players who didn't play together for a while need a bit of time to get used to each other again. That's completely normal. But in the first, especially half an hour, nobody could see any issues between the two boys. We were just exceptional in this half an hour, and these two guys as well. So, and then what makes this game especially difficult, or made it especially difficult, was the fact that how Salzburg defended. So each ball they won, there were not a lot in the first half an hour, but even though all balls were directly in behind the line, and the runs they do are really good. And Joe did in these situations outstandingly well. So because of his speed, because of the challenges he had. Remember not, but then the goals we conceded later, we conceded for different reasons. We lost the ball in a situation. So losing a ball is always difficult, but it's always a challenge you face in a football game. But then you should lose in the right moment, because then you have still a kind of a formation behind that. And if everybody's expecting we keep the ball and pass it through, then you are wide as a formation, and then then you can come in situations where, the opponent can score. That happened, I think, at least 2 times in that game. So that has, in the first place, nothing to do with the centre halves. They are always then the last one who face the challenge, but we have to sort that earlier. So I was fine with his performance. So it helps, of course. Getting minutes is always good, and that's a challenge, of course. Having not the best rhythm, then maybe you need a few minutes, but he had them, and so all good.
Just going back to Katrina Johnson-Thompson, when you said like you follow the sports and everything else, she was talking in another interview since winning gold that she took inspiration from that Barcelona in the Champions League and not to never give up. So I was just wondering, throughout your career, maybe throughout or more recently, what kind of sports success has inspired you?
Our Barcelona game as well, to be honest. It was for me the standout moment in the last month. So that it gets normal. Over the years, I got inspired by so many different things, what happened in sport and what these athletes are doing, what they sacrifice to be on the top level, and then especially this kind of sport with having for her 7 really different things to do. I studied sports science, obviously. We did a lot of sports there, and we had to do tennis decathlon, right, in English? So if you have 10, and we had to do a decathlon, and that looks really funny in some moments. So, but you cannot. I couldn't have more respect for what they do, because it's being so focused. We can get a lot out of these things. It's not that you really use it, but as sports people, what we all are, you watch these things, obviously, when you have time for it, when it's not the middle of the night, and you see how they deal with setbacks in the competition, how they bounce back in the next one, how they stay calm when they know it's not my best. This part is not my best skill, maybe, so I have to be calm because I'm better in the 1,000-meter run or whatever. So that's really, so stay focused, use your skills, respect your weaknesses, work on that, but don't get nervous because of them and stuff like that. So many things you can take from these people. It's just incredible, and I really love it. Olympic Games, World Championships, light athletics, I usually watch, but this time I had to sleep while they're happening.
Jurgen, Brendan Rodgers certainly getting the best out of Jamie Vardy again. His goal scoring record stands up to anybody else's, I think, at the moment. How do you go about coping with the threat of Vardy, who's so direct and quick and runs up behind him? You know what he's going to do, but coping with it is difficult, isn't it?
That's true. To be honest, it feels like if somebody would now shoot the ball behind me, that Vardy would be there. So he's always over shoulder. So that's it's just good. It's not his only skill, obviously, but he's luring for these situations. He wants them and he gets them, and so. But always in football, we have to make sure that these situations don't happen that often. So it means have the ball, keep the ball, pass the ball is one thing. Lose the ball, win it back immediately. Know about what they are doing, but they are not like this. It's not. There they are much more flexible. It's not like the first ball now will be always in behind immediately. It's for that they have two good players in between. The counterattacks look different to the past. I remember when in the year when Leicester became champion, when we played there, we were pretty good, but there was one ball like 5 yards behind the halfway line, and he took it to half volley and was in. So if he scores goals like this, it's difficult to defend him. But in general, he is incredible player. Incredible. Now, meanwhile, for years already, and if he gets the service, then he will be a proper threat, and we have to make sure that will not happen that often. It works in the first place to avoid these passes on the other side. Then we know about his speed, obviously, but it's more about timing. So we need to be in the right moment, in the right place to defend him. There's no alternative to that.
We all know about the growing importance of fullbacks in the modern game, and I don't think you swap Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson for anybody, but Leicester with Ben Chilwell on the left and Ricardo on the right, they're very much a key part of what they do, and it's really interesting, isn't it? You know, you look at all four of those players, good defenders, but great attackers as well.
Yeah, so I think Ricardo was a right winger, so they made him a right fullback, which is I like that idea, to be honest. It makes really sense for a lot of players. So now he's settled in England. Now his defending is as good as he's offensively, and and Ben Chilwell. I first got aware of him when he was on loan to Huddersfield. So Dave Wagner was pretty much in my ear every day, but Leicester didn't want to let him go, and so he's still there, which was obviously good for him. And now he's a grown-up player. He's not a kid anymore, and he's football-wise exceptional, 100%. So yes, they have good fullbacks, but I'm still very happy with my fullbacks, to be honest. And for me, it's not a surprise that these positions are more and more important in football, because just modern football closes the center. That's how it is. Everything in modern football is about closing the center, closing the space where the ball is actually. But with an open center, you have no chance. So you close the center, that opens up the wings, whoever is there. Man City is doing it with offensive wingers, but they make the pitch big as well, and so that's what you have to do. And the better the footballer they are, the more it helps the team. So we are fine with ours. I'm sure Brendan is fine with his, and could be interesting who can make the difference.
You spoke earlier about Joe getting more minutes and how important that is. I'm just wondering, because you've named a fairly consistent lineup all the time, how much you think about how many minutes the people who aren't in the squad are getting, and how difficult it is for someone to be dropped into the side and sort of pick up straight away?
I wouldn't say it's difficult. It's just a job to do. But having rhythm is good. Not having rhythm, no excuse. So that's how footballer's life is. We cannot. I know you didn't play for a while, and I don't expect 100%, I only expect 40%. That's not the truth, to be honest. That's how life is. There are harder things in life than that. So it's the whole thing. It's not that they yes, some of them maybe didn't play that often, but they train all the time. So, and that's football as well. So don't think too much about it. It's all about. It's very much about your own expectations as well. So to get confidence step by step and winning a challenge, stuff like this, and these moments are in the game. So it's not perfect. Most of the things in life are not perfect, but it's doable, and that's pretty much the only thing I need. So how I said, rhythm good. If not, don't complain. Just do what you always do and perform. That's the job of the boys. I cannot change that.
Yeah, just on one thing. After Wednesday's game, Salzburg released a video of the coach's half-time team talk. Very good screen English and German speech of players. And just wondering, firstly, would you ever have a video camera in the dressing room, and what would we see if you did?
Oh, if LFC TV would put out a video with me in a situation like that, I would leave the club. That's the truth. That's the truth. So that's all I say about that.
No, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Unless that's you leaving the club.
I thought Carl is the last one. I only want to make it more dramatic.
It worked. David, you have to ask something now. We're going to do a catastrophe.
So no pressure on you now.
No, just on Alisson, is it slightly different with goalkeepers than it is to maybe outfield players in terms of your willingness to, when he's just so early back in training, to maybe throw him in? You know, if he trains well today, is he immediately in contention for the weekend?
Yeah, it's different with goalkeepers, yes. It's different with Ali maybe, but it's not. We don't. The good thing, Adrian did that well. We don't feel pressure, so that's good. We don't have to rush it or whatever. But we don't. He's training already for, I think nearly 10 days. So it's not now, but now team training, it's difficult to have. It's really better most of the time that the little things we can do between the games when we play all 3 days. You don't really need a goalie, or we have goalies for that. So it's more important that Ali could do than the important stuff from a much higher intensity than it would have been in a five-side or whatever we could do between the games. So if yesterday would have been the first session for him in training, we wouldn't of course not even think about it. And I don't know if you think about it. I have to talk. I didn't. Mike Gordon is in town, so I had a lot of meetings since he's here, so I couldn't talk yet about the goalie situation to anybody. But I will do that after press conference immediately, and then I call you. Or not.
Now you can leave.
Thank you very much.
Press conference.
Yeah.